What is up, my veggies? My name is BTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're going to be reviewing Benny Loves You. Before we get into it, let's go ahead and read the synopsis for this movie because I have a lot to say about this one. After the accidental death of his parents, Jack's comfortable lifestyle comes to an end, and he must sell his family home, desperate to improve his life. Jack throws out his old childhood belongings, including his beloved plush, Benny. It's a move that has disastrous consequences when Benny springs to life with deadly intentions. That's all I can really say about it, without spoilers. But going into this movie, I didn't know what expectations to have because of the fact I didn't know what expectations to have because most of this movie was made by one guy over the span of like 4 years, which is crazy to think about. Did the music himself, worked on some of the cinematography, starred in it, voiced Benny, did a lot of the effects and everything, just all the VFX himself and everything. Composed the music and all. It is and regardless of what you think of this movie, it's bad or not, this guy still made a movie, which is completely insane. And more props to that guy because that's a lot of dedication. Basically, this being mostly a small group of people, and mostly this one guy making this movie. Now, what do I think about the movie itself? Going into it, I had not like I said, I don't really know what my expectations were. First things first, I do want to talk about before I get into anything else is the CG, because Benny most of the time is not an actual toy on his CGI, which is really good. A lot of time you cannot tell that he's CGI because the way he moves looks like just like someone playing with a toy on moving around on a green screen, which is super interesting and looks really good. The characters here are fine. The characters here I'd say are fine. I think the movie does a pretty good job with it's definitely going to be a dark horror comedy, and definitely plays a lot of the moments up for like laughs and everything. They definitely do that with this movie. They play up a lot of the stuff for the laughs and everything. And this movie is bloody. Like this movie is bloody, and it's definitely got a dark sense of humor to it, and everything. Some of the characters I'm not really sure why they act like they do. Like, there's this I guess this love interest that like I don't really see why she has any reason to be interested in our lead, but she is, and I don't really see the point there. But I guess I don't know. I guess it's the add conflict. I guess, but and then Benny steals the show. Benny steals the show. Obviously, he's a lot of fun to watch and everything. And he doesn't like talk. He talks, but it's like just like the voice box. It's like in the toy, and it's just like it just says those few phrases, which is kind of cool. And it's like Benny loves you, cuddle Benny. I can't do the voice, but like it's definitely a very fun thing to do. I don't think if I saw Benny staring at me, I'd like get scared or anything because it's not like Chucky or anything like that. But getting another thing about a killer doll, I love that type of things. Regardless if the movie's bad or not, I enjoy like obviously stuff like Child's Play, this, and just a bunch of others. But I think this movie was a fun time. I do think they did a really good job with it. I think they did a lot of fun to be had with this film. I think they did a lot here with this character, with their basically make this movie for nothing, which is completely insane. It's definitely something that I think if you are a fan of like indie horror movies and like very independently made films, I think you'll get an enjoyment out of this. And I don't think the movie's bad in the slightest. I do think it falls into the point of there's a fight scene in here with Benny and like a toy robot, which is kind of neat. It looks pretty fun, and that I imagine that probably took a while to make. The kills in this not anything groundbreaking, but there's nice, and like I said, like the movie's got like a sick, twisted sense of humor sometimes, and I think they take what they do with this movie and they run with it. They don't really care what they're doing. They're just like, we're going this direction, deal with it. And I think that's all you could want in a movie like this. I think that's literally all you could want in this type of movie. I think it's that interesting of a film. I think the movie overall just does so much fun with its concept and overall. But like I said, like there's some stuff with the humor that doesn't hit from time to time. Some of the characters that like there's a kid named Richard or is he Richard? I'm not the biggest fan of him. There's like a bunch of jokes about him being a big Prince fan and him just being like this overall jerk character, but also he's kind of got some funny, but I not the biggest fan of him myself. Um, but I think there is some fun character acting in here. Like I said, the character Richard, I don't hate him, but like I'm not the biggest fan. But I do think he still plays the character really well, and I don't think you're supposed to like Richard anyway. But I think I think there's some fun character acting here. Overall, I think the movie it sets out to do something that's really hard, and that's just make a movie. And like with one guy, I gotta give that dude a round of applause for that alone. Like that is just something that's the biggest wow of this movie is like this guy did this mostly all by himself, and it's completely insane. There's like I said, there's some jokes that don't fly, not don't hit. I mean, and I think that I like when movies can be more mean spirited because I think it's fun when the movie's mean spirited as long as it's not like to a I don't know. I think this movie did it to a good degree and was a lot of fun with the way they went about it. But I think that's really all I have to say about the movie. Critics give this movie an 81 on Rotten Tomatoes, which personally surprised me. Maybe it's because of the behind the scenes stuff. I'm not sure. And audiences give it a 54, which is a very rare thing to see on Rotten Tomatoes, where the critic score is higher than the audience score. So that's a pretty rare thing to see, especially when it comes to a horror film. Um, but I do think this movie definitely knows what it came to do. It did it, and it definitely was something that I definitely enjoyed. Um, I think it's fun. I wouldn't necessarily say it's good, but I say it's okay. It's got its issues, but I enjoyed the movie nonetheless. My rating, personally, I'd probably give it a just straight down the middle of 2.5. I doesn't mean like it's bad or anything. It's just I think it's just that kind of movie. I don't think it's something crazy, but like I said, if the creator of this movie ever see that video, dude, you still did a really good job making a movie by mostly by yourself. Um, and yeah, that's really all I've got to say about this movie, guys. What do you guys think of Benny Loves You? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Let me know. I'm very, very curious what you guys think about this movie. I'd love to know what you guys think about it because this is an interesting film. I don't think I've ever reviewed a movie that had like this kind of filmmaking process, which is very, very interesting. But that's all I got to say for this review, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.